beating the odds. Week 3, starting to make some money, boys. Coming off last year's 128-83 record. Now we're rolling 9-2-1 last week. We are streaking.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
That makes our record 15-8-1 on the year. Those of you new to the show, check it out. We've been crushing for 2 years now. Gonna keep it rolling. It's me, 3 of my best buddies, calling in, sharpest bettors I know. Let's hit the phones.
Hey Rob, it's Mike Story, beating the odds. We had a great week last week. I was in Las Vegas, as you are aware, and your viewers can probably attest, not my finest moment on air. But I came back with my wallet intact, my dignity not so much, but here we are. Week 3, let's keep it rolling. I've got 3 picks for you today. First one, Green Bay and Tennessee over 37.5, minus 119 on DraftKings. This team looks like they set the total like Jordan Love is not going to play, but he's been thrown all week. He was at practice again today, Friday, and every indication is that he's going to play. So the good news for Green Bay is Josh Jacobs took over that game running last week, but they're going to open it up with Jordan Love. Tennessee, on the other hand, decent defense, but they've been in a couple of slugfests. They've lost both games, 24-17 so far. The Packers defense forced 3 turnovers on the Colts last week. If they can do that again this week, they'll have some short fields, force Tennessee to throw to keep up, which we could get some garbage time points. But 37.5 in today's NFL, I don't see it going under that total, so take the over. The next one is Stephon Diggs over 4.5 receptions at minus 120. When I was first looking at this, it was plus money. Now it's minus money. Let's talk about Diggs. Yeah, revenge narrative. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. First time playing back in Minnesota. I'm not really concerned about that. What I am concerned about is Diggs has settled into the slot role for Houston. He is the underneath guy. Yes, he only has 9 catches through 2 games, but he's got 6 targets in each of those. And he's been the quick hitter, low average depth of target guy for P.J. Stroud as opposed to Nico Collins. Tank Dell's taken a back seat this year so far. The Vikings, we know they've got a fierce front 4, front 7. They're very blitz heavy, 6th highest rated blitzing this year. Going to put a lot of pressure on Stroud, and his time to throw is going to lessen, which means that they're going to need some underneath stuff, some safety valves. That's Stephon Diggs. Add in the fact that Mixon's banged up. He's not going to play. Damian Pierce is not going to play. So you got Cam Akers, who's in so-so receiving back. This should be a big target game for Diggs. 8 targets. Can he get to 5 receptions over 4.5? I like it. That's minus 120 on DraftKings. Finally, Jameson Williams over 52.5 receiving yards. Again, when I looked at this one, it was over 50.5 at minus 120. Now it's over 52.5 at minus 110. If you're not liking that, you can also get them over 50 or 50 plus at minus 110, minus 125 on DraftKings. But Jameson Williams, he's been over in both these games so far. I just don't think the bookmakers have caught up to who he is this year. This is his breakout game, or his breakout season. He's 3rd in NFL in air yards this year with 127 and 129 in 2 games, and he's drawing a 23% target share from Jared Goff. Jared Goff doesn't look right, but he's got a narrow target tree. It's J-Mo, it's Sam Laporta, of course it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. You get the Cardinals. That's where this all comes from. Dead last in DVOA against deep passes last year. 6th worst so far this year. Should be a back and forth game, high scoring game. Jameson Williams should get plenty of targets and plenty of stuff. He's a deep target guy for long routes, yards, whatever it is. Okay, over 52.5, minus 110 on DraftKings. That's it for me. Good luck beating the odds. We'll talk to you next week.
The weekend is here, and I got some winners for you. Come fresh off a 2-0 and 1 stupid push week, but positive week, of course, so we're going to do it again here. I got 4 this time. So we're going to start with everyone's favorite. Not my favorite team. I don't really even like them. But this is just the matchup where they have to shine or they're never going to. So we're going to go with the Bears +1, minus 115. Look, they essentially look like they can't protect the quarterback. They can't call no reasonable play calling. A lot of things that are concerning about that offense. However, defense looks really, really good. Kind of reminds me of that team they had years ago when Mr. Kyle Orton played, got them to the Super Bowl. It was amazing because he sucked. Anyway, this situation here, they came from playing the top 2 of the top 5 defenses, particularly defensive lines, in the last two weeks. Now they're going up against the 29th ranked pass defense through DVOA and the 30th in rush. defensive line doesn't look nearly as scary as these others. So this is just a matchup where they're going to have the ability to shine, run, short passes, what have you. And I don't think Richardson's going to have a fun day against this Bears front seven. So Bears +1, -115. That's my first one. We're going to go with Seattle at home -4, -115 on DraftKings. Then I'm going to go with a couple of surprise prop plays because I'm into this now. So we're going to go with Derrick Henry, King Henry, over 66.5 rushing yards. The Cowboys are awful at stopping the run. And I think maybe at some point during the season they might shore that up, and it's not going to be this week. That's where Baltimore is going to shine. They're 0-2. They know they can run the ball and win this game by running the ball, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do. I think he gets 100. Last, I'm going to double dip back to this Bears game. We talked about the Colts defense, both passing and rushing. They've pretty much allowed the most rushing to any team so far, at least one of the most. But they've also allowed the most carries because teams know they can run on them. And so I'm going with DeAndre Swift, rushing attempts over 13.5. So those are my 4-0. Let's go. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to check me out at Crush the Book on Twitter. Thanks.
Wow, Storyers really sounded very spry. Vegas was rough on him, but glad to have you back, buddy. And we got Sean doing props now? That is very surprising. That is as surprising as me not liking Sean McVay. Shout out Leskis. All right, let's get to my picks here. I'm going to run on 5-1. Let's go. I'm going to start with a quarterback rushing prop. I've been called the quarterback rushing prop whisperer.
I'm really, really good.
How good?
I've been called the songbird of my generation.
At least I call myself that. But this one's great. This is my bet of the week. It's Anthony Richardson over 39.5 rushing yards. God, I love this. He had 6 for 56 in week 1 and 4 for 37 last week. I don't know what they were doing. They didn't have the ball against the Packers at all. Either way, they're 0-2. Bears have a good pass rush. He is going to put it all on the line this week. They cannot go 0-3. He's a rushing quarterback. This guy's got a lot to prove. He's going to do it this year. I think he's going to do this in the first half. You heard it here first, folks. Second bet, Mr. Sam Laporta. I have slandered this man forever, and maybe I was right because he looks like trash. Joe had him last week. I think he was a week too early on him. You heard Story talk about it in this game. It's going to be a shootout against the Cardinals. He is at 43.5 receiving yards. Give me the over on that one, baby. He has 4 for 45 week 1 and 2 for 13 last week. He's had 5 targets and 3 targets. I see him getting at least 8 targets this game. They're going to try to establish a run, which gives more chances for that play action. Get Laporta out there, a nice little 15-yard gain. A couple times in the first quarter. He's going to crush this number. Third bet here, I'm not as confident of this one, but I feel like it's just kind of a hunch. Christian Kirk. Now, he has been awful. And let me repeat, awful this year. He has 2 catches. Last week, he literally had 1 catch for -1 yard. He did have a 40-yard touchdown called back. Either way, Christian Kirk over 3.5 receptions. They're going against the Bills. They have great success against the Bills. They need to win this game. They've been struggling. Why have they been struggling? They have not been getting Christian Kirk the ball. He's a very important part of this offense. No Evan Ingram there this week. They're going to get it to him early and often. I see some design little dump-offs, little plays, little slants. Let's get it going. Christian Kirk, let's hear from Joe.
Week 3, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try to step it up for you a notch here. 2-4 to start the year. Not happy about it. Off to a rough start last year. Ended up coming on strong, so going to look to do that right now starting week 3. We're going to start off with 2-team teaser, adding 6 points to the spread. We're going to do Chicago Bears +7 with the 49ers money line. That's -120. I believe it's the Bears in a teaser with 6 points have covered that spread 11 times in a row. And I think the 49ers, although banged up, are still the better football team. They'll get the best of the Rams. For the second one, we're going to go Josh Allen touchdown at -115. Buffalo Bills are at home. Allen has scored at least one touchdown in 7 of the last 8 Buffalo Bills home games. So I'm liking the odds there, and I'm going to go 3 for 3. I'm going to stick with the hot hand. I'm going Nico Collins over 73.5 receiving yards. Minnesota has a pretty bad secondary. They let up a lot of passing yards. The 49ers were able to shred them pretty good last week. Nico Collins over 100-plus receiving yards both games to start the year. I think 73.5 is a doable number for him. 3 for 3. Let's go!
Gotta love the enthusiasm from Joe. Love the bets, guys. Thanks again for calling in. Check out the show. Like, subscribe. Get on this train before it's too late. It's a gravy train, baby. And it's still in the station. Let's keep on beating the odds.
We're beating the odds. We're beating the odds.